presence and working from this place of presence this week. And as I've thought about this and considered this topic, it's something that's come up a lot in my own practices and studies over the last few months. This concept of, yes, we learn from the past, and yes, we're working towards something in the future, but the only way to actually digest the past is from a place of right here. And the only way to work on goals for the future is from right here. So all that other stuff on the outside, on the present, on the past, the future, the only way we make progress and digest and work with what's there is from right here, right now. And I was just chatting with someone who was on the call first about stuff going on in the body. And so I think that this is a really good place to recognize something in the body, like an injury. I had a car accident back when I was 19 or something, 19, 20, I don't remember exactly, where, I had whiplash. And at that time, physical therapy wasn't done. Maybe it was for some things, but certainly not for whiplash. And so a lot of things kind of built in my neck from that. And I still experience that stuff today. And so the invitation is for me to take what's going on in the here and now with my neck, learn from what happened in the past, but take action now that will affect my future. So right here, right now, is when I can be the most effective. But if I stew on the past or stew on what I need to do for the future, then I don't have the opportunity to use what's going on in my body now to help me make really solid choices. So as we think about working in the present, I'm going to mute everybody and we'll get started. I can find the mute button. Somehow I got all out of whack with the order of things today. There we go. Okay, so come to a comfortable seat. And as you come to your comfortable seat, that comfort in your seat is something that's very specific to today. So if you're feeling tight through the hips and low back, then maybe elevate your hips a little higher. Work from right here, right now, what's going on for you. And then you can shift your sitting bones back and broad. And then rest your hands down on your legs. Allow that little bit of weight of your hands, not a big press, but just the weight of your hands to help you feel that connection with your legs with the ground, generally with yourself and what's going on right now. Lengthen your sides and lift your shoulders up and back. As you let your eyes close and tune into your breath. Your breath is a wonderful tool to help you be present with what is, right here, right now, in this moment. So observe your breath moving and even think of watching it move, inhaling from crown to tail down the front, exhaling from tail to crown up the back. A couple times, watch your breath move and maybe notice some details of your body, of your energy level, of this present moment. As you connect your hands together at heart center now, gently press your palms, allowing elbows to lift slightly, lift your shoulders up and back, and lengthen the back of your neck. Take a deep inhale here. And as you exhale, bow toward your heart, honoring yourself for taking this time to tune in to you. Then softly opening your eyes, release your hands down, keep your chin tucked down. Again, move your shoulders up and back. Shoulder blades are engaging, and then give yourself a gentle shake of your head no toward the ground. And then a gentle nodding of your head toward the ground. And then lift up tall, lengthen through the back of your neck, and shake your head no. And here, as you shake your head no, you might have lots of mobility, moving your head way toward your shoulder, or you might have less mobility, taking that to a slightly smaller movement. Really tune into what it is that's right for your neck. As you come back into center now, we're going to do a little bit of lengthening of our neck. So you're going to take your fingertips to your skull. And so you have just around the jawline here with your thumbs, and then your fingers at the occipital bone. And now you're going to gently pull up. And if your body is saying, oh, pulling is not the best idea, then don't pull very much. Or you can give a good pull, move your shoulder blades onto your back, and take a big breath. This is something I sometimes do when I'm in person with people at Shavasana, is to add this pull at the occipital bones. So you can do it a little bit for yourself. Good. Then release your hands down and take a gentle ear to shoulder, ear to shoulder. If it feels good in your body, you're going to now capture your head on each side as you take ear to shoulder, ear to shoulder. If that's a little bit much, then don't bother capturing your head with your hand. Good. One more time on each side. And then back up to center now. Turn your head over to the right side and nod a couple times. And then over to the left side and nod a couple times. I say a couple times, a few times. Back into center now, switch the cross of your legs, coming to the less comfortable cross for yourself. And shift your sitting bones. And now, as you root down with your hands gently into your legs, lift up through your sides. Left hand comes to your hip. Root down through your hip, reach your right arm over your ear, and do a little side stretch over to the left. Put both shoulder blades onto your back. Your head moves into the back plane of your body. Take a full big breath, and as you anchor down with both sitting bones, maybe you stretch a tiny bit further, maybe you don't. Tune into what your body needs in this moment. Now, turn your right shoulder a little bit down. Draw your right low ribs in. Take a big deep breath into your right mid and upper back. Inhale all the way back upright, tall through your spine, and then your right hand comes to anchor into your hip. Left arm reaches up and over, and then take that side stretch. And as you take that side stretch, put both shoulder blades on your back. Send your head back to the back plane of the body. Take a big deep breath. Fill out your left ribs with breath. Maybe that enables you to go a little deeper or to choose to come up a little bit higher. Now, turn your left shoulder a little downward. Draw in with your left low ribs. Take a big breath into that space around the mid back and upper back. Inhale, rise all the way back up and gently release your arms. Make fists, bring them to your low back. Think of upper glute area. Press down a little bit and start to lift up and open through your front. Shoulder blades engage. Back of your neck is long here. So instead of trying to drop your head back, keep it in line with your spine or even tuck your chin in towards your chest. Take a full, big, deep breath. Inhale back up to center, and now we're coming forward onto hands and knees. And from hands and knees, let's right away shift hips back. Your choice, big toes together, knees wide, or knees narrow. To settle hips into child's pose as deeply as that is for you. And then go ahead and find whatever movement feels right in your body today. Maybe it's a little side-to-side sway with hips, or inching the fingertips a little further forward. Wherever that is for you, take a couple big breaths in and out of the nose. Then inhale, rise up to your hands and knees. And pause, set yourself up, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. As you evenly spread your fingertips and root down through palms and fingertips, rotate elbow pits forward and push, expanding into the upper back. Then reach back with your right leg, turn open with your right hip, bend your knee and press your heel toward the left side. If that's in your practice, you can always keep foot on the ground and just lift your hip up a little bit. So you really decide where your hips are today, what's happening for you. As you push down with your hands, let your low ribs lift a little. And then step your right foot in between your hands. You might have blocks underneath your hands here for a little support. Work your back knee back as far as you need so you have a little more length through your back thigh, and then center with your hips. Long with your spine. Take a full big deep breath. And now walk hands to the inside and heel toe your right foot out to the right side. So knee and toes are at the same angle. And from this place, we're going to turn our knee, on our heel. So lift up with the front part of your foot. The ball of your foot lifts, you have the pivot point of your heel. And now open your knee up as far as your body is ready to go into that hip opener. Your hands can stay up on blocks or on the floor here, or you can always have your right hand on your knee, not trying to push it open more, just to support. Take a big, full, deep breath here. And then bring your foot back into center and settle back onto hands and knees. And from hands and knees, one more time, settle hips to heels, take a child's pose. Then inhale, rise back up to hands and knees and reset yourself. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Rotate elbow pits forward and push. Head to the back plane of your body. It tends to dip down here, so lift it up. And then stretch back with your left leg. Turn open with your hip. Bend your knee, press your heel toward the right side. Take a big deep breath and just notice the tendency for this to create a little bit of a back bend. So support your low back by engaging your low belly. Take a big full breath, push with your hands and expand the low ribs into the back. And then step left foot forward in between your hands. And again, blocks can be there for your hands if you would like. Work your back knee back as far as you need. Extend your heart forward. Take a big breath. And then work your hands to the inside. Heel toe your left foot out to the left, thinking of knee and toes at the same angle. And then lift up with the front part of your foot. So you're on your heel as your pivot point, and then you're pivoting on your heel to turn your knee as far open as your body is ready for. We're not symmetrical, so it may open more, it may open less than the other side. You get to tune into what's a natural place for you to go to. Full big breath. And then back into center. Heel toe your foot in. Hands on either side of your front leg. Then step back to hands and knees. Set yourself up, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Rotate elbow pits forward and push. Toes are tucked. You can stay on your hands and knees or lift your hips up and back for your downward facing dog pose and take a couple big breaths. Either way, sway your hips a little side to side. Thinking of lengthening from hip to armpit. And then walk your way forward, coming into your forward fold at the front of your mat. Take as many steps as you need to get to the front of your mat here. Hands can be on blocks or the floor. Take an inhale, lengthen part way. Knees stay bent, send your sitting bones up. Exhale and fold as deeply as you need. So from right here, if you do have some tension in the low back, then sometimes bringing hands up above your knees or elbows up above your knees is a nice thing to do for yourself. So take a moment in your fold to find the way it fits best for your body. Send sitting bones up, extend your heart. Inhale, lengthen one more time. Exhale and fold. Plant your fingertips, you're stepping right foot back into your lunge, turning and planting your back heel. And from this place, left elbow to your knee, right hand to your hip. Just a moment in side angle pose. Take a big deep breath as you bend into your front knee and open it up toward the pinky toe edge. Turn your belly and your heart to the right. Put both shoulder blades on your back. Deep breath. Exhaling, both hands come down to the front of your mat. Tuck your back toes and step forward. Next exhale, left foot steps back into your lunge. Turn and plant your back heel and bring right elbow to your knee, left hand to your hip. Bend into your front knee and open it up. And then turn your belly and your heart more to the left. Shoulder blades engage and push your elbow down. Let your ribs lift. Big breath. Exhale, both hands come down to the front of your mat. Tuck your back toes and step forward. Inhale, lengthen partway. And exhale, fold. Hands to hips. Press back on hips. Start to lift shoulders up and back. And then inhale, rise. And now, we're going to find our balance. So if you would like to come over to a wall to hold on to it, you can. You're welcome to. Or you can balance without the wall. But we're going to do a little more hip opening and then one thigh stretch. So find your balance onto your left foot. Bring your right knee into your hand. Take a moment here to flex your foot and wrap your right hip down. Then stamping into your standing foot, think of squeezing your glute and pushing into the floor. Lift your chest and then open your knee up. As you open your right knee up to the right side, rewrap your glute so your knee turns more upward. Lift your chest up, maybe stretch up. Take a big breath. Good, inhale back into center. Hand to your hip. Now we're going to slip our hand down our shin toward our foot to bring our foot behind us in this thigh stretch. However, if holding onto your foot is not where your body is today, then a thigh stretch also happens if you simply bend your knee, okay? Reach through your thigh. Same thing we did when we were holding onto our knee. Bend into your standing knee, squeeze your glute, and push into the floor. Lift your chest. Take one more big breath. And then gently release your foot and turn your palms open, expanding your front. Let your eyes close if that's comfortable and take a full breath. Good, softly open the eyes and shift your weight onto your right foot. Left knee comes into your hand. Flex your foot and then pause. Push into the floor with your standing leg all the way from your glute. And then open up. As you open up, you're flexing your foot and wrapping your glute down and under so your knee turns more upright. Lift your chest. Maybe stretch, maybe hold on to a wall. Take a big breath. Good, back into center now. And then slip your hand down your shin. Take a hold of your foot if you want, or don't hold your foot. That's okay too. Either way, lengthen through your thigh, lift your chest. Good. Same thing, standing leg from the glute into the floor, push. Full breath. Shoulder blades on your back. And then gently release your foot down. Both feet come to the ground, feet inner hip distance apart and parallel. Hands to your heart. With your eyes closed, take a moment to grow longer. Full deep breath. Inhale, stretch up overhead. Exhale, bent knees to fold over your legs. Inhale, lengthen part way. Exhale and fold. Fingertips plant, you're stepping right foot back into your lunge. Bring your right knee down to the ground, and then we're going to take a little more of a hamstring stretch. So whatever you're using for blocks, come up to the highest point. It could be a stack of books or a chair. Work your hips back, front leg towards straight. And if you're just using one thing, then bring it to the inside so both hands can be on it on the inside, okay? If you're using two, then you might frame your leg. But as you pull your toes back, press down with your heel so that your knee can lift. And wrap your right hip, or your left hip back rather. Then stick both sitting bones up, but especially the left one. From that place, take a really big breath and grow longer through your spine. Good, then inhale, bend into your front knee and set right hand on the edge of your mat, left hand to your knee. And as you turn your belly and your heart to the left side, put both shoulder blades on your back. Maybe stretch, top arm to the sky. One more full big breath. Reach further down into the ground with your right hand, up with your left hand. Exhale, both hands come down to the front of your mat. And inhale, step forward. Exhale, step your left foot back into your lunge, left knee to the ground. Come up to the highest point of your blocks, whatever that looks like. Again, a stack of books or a stool. And then work your hips back, front leg towards straight. And then come toward stacking wrists under shoulders, or you can always stack your hands underneath your chest if you're using. Down with your heel, wrap your hip back on the right side. Send both sitting bones up and extend your heart longer. Take a deep breath. And now bend into your front knee, and you're going to set left hand on a block or the floor, your choice. Right hand to your knee. As you turn your belly and your heart to the right side, put both shoulder blades on your back, and then maybe stretch up. Big breath. Exhaling, both hands come down to the front of your mat and settle back onto your hands and knees. And then your favorite version of your child's pose, hips to heels. Work your arms a little forward maybe, or reach them back alongside you if that feels better in your body. Full breath. Then gently press yourself back upright to your seat and come all the way down onto sitting bones. And now we're going to do a sitting version of a hip opener, our sitting version of our happy baby pose. So move your sitting bones, and if you want to, especially if hips or low back are still feeling tight, sit your hips up on a blanket or something, okay? And then from here, we're going to pick our right leg up. And we're going to hold on. You can hold on to the shin. You can hold on to the outside of your foot. You could use a strap around your foot. Left hand is going to come to the left side near your hip to help you sit taller. So as you push your left hand down, tilt your pelvis so your belly is coming forward. And from this point, press back with your hand on your foot or leg. Push your foot or leg back into your hand. Lift up even taller. Take a full, big, deep breath. And then gently release your foot down, and we'll take that half happy baby pose on the second side. So your right leg becomes your base. Left leg gets picked up, and you're either holding on to the outside of your shin or calf, or you're holding on to the outside of your foot, or using a strap. Right hand as your helper to sit taller. And then your foot aims forward, your knee aims back, and then begin to press or pull back with your hand. Press into your hand with your foot or your leg. Full big breath, long spine. Belly tilts forward, so you're tilting your pelvis into that anterior direction. Full deep inhale, long full exhale. And then gently release. Both feet to the ground, and then let's lay all the way down. Make sure you can reach whatever your props are. And as you come all the way down, set soles of feet together into a butterfly, and then set props underneath your legs. And you're moving the props in or out to find where it feels the best for your hip flexors not to have to work. And now, from this place, cactus with your arms if that feels good. If that doesn't, you can take a T or bring your arms back toward your sides. Up to you. Take a couple big breaths here, allowing for your back body to start to feel that support of the ground. And then begin to move with your head. You're going to turn your head side to side like you're shaking your head no toward the ceiling. And again, it's just a gentle movement. No need to go to an extreme here unless that feels really good, as you know that your neck can handle that movement. And then straight ahead, nod your head toward the ceiling. Turn your head to the right and nod your head. Turn your head to the left and nod. And as you come back into center, remember what we did when we were sitting, where we gave our skulls a little pull. We're going to do that here if that feels okay in your body. So thumbs right up at the top of your jaw, and then fingertips get to come to the base of your skull. And you're going to think about moving your head, it doesn't actually move very far, to the wall behind you. And as you do that, take a couple big breaths, just recognizing for yourself how much of a pull is right for you. And then gently release your hands, knees lift. And then you're going to start to shift your way into your most comfortable resting pose. So that might be adding a bolster underneath your legs here to let them come all the way out to rest. That might be staying in a butterfly. You decide what would feel good in your body and start to let yourself settle in to your Shavasana. Begin to take a deeper breath. And gently add movement into fingers and into toes. And as you're ready to bend your knees and roll to one side and take a full big breath on your side. And slowly press yourself back up to your seat. As you come up to your seat, take a moment to find some comfort, whether it's propping hips up or sitting all the way down, whatever you need to do. And then stack one hand over the other on your heart space. And with your eyes closed, tune into how your body feels right here, right now, in this moment. Have a very peaceful and beautiful day. Have a wonderful weekend if I don't see you before that. Namaste. Thanks, everybody.